Hi everyone and welcome back to Pass the FE exam with Sol. Today we are going to have a theoretical video, general bullets points for FE Civil. First definition we have is force. Force definition is the force required to accelerate 1 kilogram per second square or 1 slug per second square. We need to know that 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pound mass, and also we need to know that 1 slug is equal 32.2 pound mass. Second point is the stiffness. When you hear the term stiffness, it means the structural member resistance to deformation due to the application of load. Also, we have the composite stiffness, which is equal composite stiffness divided both the summation of shapes stiffness separately. So if we have a composite shape, you calculate the composite stiffness divided by the summation of the stiffness of the first shape plus the stiffness of the second shape. Also, we have the modulus of elasticity. Modulus of elasticity, also called Young's modulus, and it's the material resistance for linear deformation due to the application of compressive or tensile stress. Also, we have modulus of rigidity. Modulus of rigidity is also called shear modulus, and it's the material resistance to sliding due to the application of shear stress. Take a note here that we have three types of stresses: compressive stress, tensile stress, and shear stress. Recall compressive stress like you are pushing, and shear stress like you are sliding, tensile stress like you are pulling axially. We have also a test called Sharpe test, and Sharpe test also called impact test, and it is used to find the energy to fracture the material and to identify ductile and brittle transition under temperature. As I said, those are general definitions. You need to review it. I will have a separate video for tips for the exam, but this theoretical bullet you should be aware of and read it frequently. Next point we have is the hardenability. The hardenability of the material is measured by denting the material under a known load and measuring the size of dent. We have also the fracture toughness. The fracture toughness is the stress intensity when material will fail. We have also the fatigue. Fatigue is time-dependent failure under cyclic load. Next is the creep. Creep is time-dependent deformation under load. We have also the ductility or percent of elongation, and it's the permanent strain after failure. Ultimate strength. Ultimate strength is the maximum engineering stress. while yield strength is the engineering stress at which permanent deformation is first observed, and its 0.2% offset. It can be calculated by the 0.2% offset method. A sack of cement is equal to 94 pound mass. If you have a composite shape, so this is our theoretical tips and bullets. So it's general from my studying to pass the FE exam. So I get notes of all the points which I see it can come in the exam. So all the points here is very important. You need to go through it and you need to be aware about it. For any composite shape, if he asks about the area moment of inertia without mentioning axis, you will calculate it about the axis passing through the center of shape geometry. What's that? What does that mean? If you have, for example, I-beam on the shape of I, and he asks you to calculate the area moment of inertia, okay, and he did not mention the axis to which you are going to calculate the area moment of inertia. We understand that the I-beam, for the I-beam, the y-axis is passing through the center of the I-beam, while the x-axis is buying through the center of the I-beam, but it's not on the same line of the x-axis. So the main axis here which you are going to get the area moment of inertia is the inertia about the y-axis. Also frequency, the unit of frequency is hertz, and it's equal to 2 by radians. Take a very important note that we have two type of units for angles, radian and degrees, and you need to understand how to convert between radian and degrees. Again, another point is also very important point, which is the summation of internal angle of any geometrical shape. It's 180 multiplied by n minus 2. N is the number of members of that shape, or number of lines of that geometrical shape. We need also to understand the binomial theory. In the handbook, there is an equation which is ncx multiplied by b to the power of x multiplied by q to the power of n minus x. So when you go to the handbook, you need to understand that, and it's a probability way of calculation, and it involves if you have to calculate the probability in different number of trials. So for example, if you have a coin and you are going to throw it for 5 times, what is the probability of success for 3 times as a two? First, you need to calculate each term. What is the number of trials is 5. What is the required number of success is 3. Okay, what is the probability in each trial to get a 2 is 50%. So the probability will be 50% per one trial. And what is the probability for the other option? It will be also 50%. So now we have the number of trial which is 5, required is 3, so you will make n combination 3, so 5 combination 3 multiplied by the probability which is 0.5 to the power of required trials which is 3 multiplied by the other probability to the power of total number of trials minus success trials. So this one you need to go through it. Also, we need to understand in the probability section the alpha, how we calculate alpha, and how we calculate degree of freedom. This is in the probability section. So alpha is equal to 1 minus confidence interval, while degree of freedom equal number of samples minus 1. Okay, also in the probability section, if you were asked what is the probability of at least 4, it means that equal to probability of 4 and above 4. Okay, in the math section, in the logarithms, we need to understand the relation that log x equal log e multiplied by ln x. Also in math section, in vectors, we need to understand that the product of two vectors equal the product of a vector by itself equals 0, and the dot of the vector by itself equal 1. For matrices, if you have matrix 2 by 3, it means that this matrix is 2 rows and 3 columns. Next one is related to identities. For example, if you have sine square 2 theta, that one equal 1 minus cosine 4 theta over 2. You can go to the identities in the handbook and go through the trigonometry identities, and you will see that law. You will see sometimes also, as I said, it's general theoretical points. So I am getting it from my practice prior the exam. By the way, I prepare myself for the exam to pass in more than 1 year. So I go through Iqbal and some other materials. I will discuss it in the tips separately. Cloverleaf interchange. You need to know that interchange, during that interchange there is a ramp, and the ramp speed limit maximum is 30 mil per hour. What you need to know that you need to slow down when you have a cloverleaf interchange at the ramps. Okay. Also, what does it mean asphalt 4%? It means that its void ratio is from 65 to 75%. So in case it come in the exam, you need to be aware of that. Also, you need to be aware about the asphalt compaction at 95 degree Fahrenheit is equal 125. Okay, asphalt PG 5434, what does that mean? It's the asphalt performance grade. Performance grade of the asphalt, it means that its maximum and minimum temperature is 54 degrees centigrade, and its minimum temperature is 34 degrees centigrade, negative 34 degrees centigrade. We need also to understand the asphalt layers, its subgrade, subbase, base, surface course. For asphalt types, we have flexible asphalt pavement and we have rigid. We have flexible and rigid. Flexible is the asphalt pavement, rigid is the Portland cement concrete slab. Portland cement concrete slab is the rigid type, have shrinkage cracks. And how is this shrinkage crack is controlled? Is controlled by contraction joints. And we have for the pavement asphalt cracks. We have different type of cracks happening for the flexible asphalt. Alligator or fatigue crack, and it looks like a polygon shape, and the cause of that is repeated heavy loads. We have also the longitudinal crack, and it's parallel to the center of the pavement, and the cause is loading along wheel path and the poor construction joints. We have also the transverse crack, which is perpendicular to the center, and the cause is the temperature change or thermal stress. So if you find this video helpful, it will be continued, but I will make it like in 2 or 3 videos. This is the first one. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more videos. Have a very good one, everyone.